Poncho Nicole single knitted, and we are at the moment that we are going to seam the two parts of the front or the back together. And I want a seam that I hardly can see. I will show you a way. And here is a mini poncho I've made, also with the neck part and with the shoulder stitches on a piece of scrap yarn, because we are going to close that with a Kitchener. The both parts we are going to close with a mattress stitch. And as you can see, I also have here a garter stitch which has to be seamed. Okay, I'm going to show you a way so it's done nice and neatly. I already did weave in ends and made a knot. When you are going to seam the two parts together, you have to do exactly the same as you did with your knit work. If you did knit it with one piece of yarn, or you knit it with two pieces of yarn or three, you are going to close it with the same amount. So you make a kind of 8 form, you go into the other part and you go back into the first part and you make a kind of 8 form. Now you take a closer look at your garter stitch. So these are to be connected and these are to be connected. I'm at the left part and I have to go into the right part. The first part you are going to take the garter stitch. You have to take the stitch pattern that is under. This is the one up and this is the one below or under. So this time I'm going to take that, grab that stitch under. I'm going to the other side and that is where I do the upper stitch pattern. Same with the second one. I'm taking the stitch which is under, or the loop, and here I'm going to take the loop that is up. And as you can see, it is still making that movement now. And now we're at the part where the stockinette starts. Most of the time you see the mattress stitch done and then you look at your work. This is the V shape and you close it by grabbing two ladders or horizontal pieces of yarn in between two V shapes. And here you have to take a closer look and you do the same. So, but then a bigger seam and on the other side will appear. And that's a thing I don't want at this point. So what you are going to do, we are going to close by looking at the V shape, and I'm going to grab those stitches that is in the V shape and not next to the V shape. And that is the last stitch. And I'm just, this was my last stitch I have closed, so I'm taking the next one. Here is, you can see that this is where your working yarn was. So you're just going to look inside the stitch and you grab the one you meet at first. Again, you grab that horizontal piece of yarn in the stitch and you grab the one on the other side and you just pull. Just open it when you're not sure, but the next one you meet you have to grab and pull your yarn through. You can do it like this, of course, one by one, but I know for sure when you did it a lot of times, you would do it just like me. And just open it when you're not sure. And just until you have had all the stitches. And you can also look at this. This is where it came from. Okay, this is half of my V shape, so I know that there must be a horizontal one. Now, one by one, until you don't see any other horizontal ones. This is the part that is the most important. You just pull a bit at your working yarn. You pull again your edge as much as possible. Just pull, but gently, otherwise your working yarn will break. Put your thumb on it and just pull in and just feel. It mustn't be too tight. It has to be this almost the same stretch as your knit work. Now, this is how your front looks. This is the part. And as you can see, they're almost exactly the same as the ones in your knit work. And advantage, there isn't that much of a seam. Now you are going to close the upper part. This is your cast on, and we are going to make a V shape which connects those two. Here is where your stitch is located. Just grab this whole one and pull it through. You do that too with the other side. Just from the back to the front again. And then you're going to look at the middle of the V shape and you put that needle through it. And when you don't see that they're attached that well, you're going to undo it, loosen it and do it again by going into the stitch. You connect the other part and then, as you can see, it's one that is fluently, and that is what we want to have. Make a knot and weave in ends, and now you have a seam where you can weave in ends, so that is better than you do it in your knit work. Cut it off, and now your first part is ready. And even though this one is a little bit higher, when you do your cowl, you won't be seeing it at all. Okay, this was seaming 2 parts together. Hope to see you at the kitchen stitch. Bye bye.